come even right now. We just say a fresh wind. God, the same type of thing that we saw, God, in Acts, that your Spirit came and it touched down in the place where they were. It was shaken. And those people were changed. Situations were changed. Faith was restored. Hope was restored. Authority was found. Just supernatural things began to happen. And so we declare right now, God, the same Spirit that did that on the first day will do it again today.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Sunday.
Good morning.
Today we went to a new church, a new experience, and it was called People's Church.
Pentecostal.
Pentecostal.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never been to a Pentecostal church. Susan has.
So as my suggestion, I went to People's Church when Jada was very little. Jada is mixed. Her dad is black. And I wanted to go to that church because I thought it would be the type of church I would like, and because the congregation is quite mixed. So I thought if she grew up in that church, she'd feel quite comfortable. I can't remember exactly why I stopped going, but I only went for about 6 months. And then I don't know, I didn't feel part of the congregation, so I started going somewhere else. Okay. But anyways, so I thought Deb needed to experience a Pentecostal church because this was your first time.
First time ever.
Okay.
And quite honestly, the entire experience was what I see in the movies. It is what I, in my mind, perceive as Baptist in the South. So it was very, very emotional, and it was very, I don't know, you could feel there was a lot of emotion in the room.
It's the Holy Spirit.
The Spirit touched us, yes.
So the Baptist churches here, at least in the Hamilton area that we visited, are not as open as the Pentecostal churches. So the Baptist churches here are quite good because West Highland is one of our favorites. It's at the top of our list.
Yeah.
But the Pentecostal church is a little more free.
A lot more free.
A lot more free.
Yes.
So a lot of hand raising, and we did talk about why people raise their hands. My understanding is it's opening yourself up to the Holy Spirit, to receiving the message, to receiving the Spirit. So by raising your hands, you are saying, "I'm open to you, God." That's my understanding of that. And there's a lot of interaction.
Yes.
There was a lot of hallelujahs, amens. You know, just people agreeing,
clapping
to the service.
Like it was very, interactive. It was an interactive day. They had a big band there. There was, I think, 9.
There was 9 people in the worship team.
9 people in the worship team. And then we had the minister, the pastor.
Yeah.
And we didn't get like a script of what we'd be doing today. We started with a lot of standing and a lot of singing. I think there were 3 or 4 songs. And I would say, I've never seen this before, but I would say 80% of people did have their hands up. So that's why I was asking Susan why people do that. I feel very vulnerable when I do that. I
think that's the point.
and I don't think it's anything I ever did, ever, when I went to church. So to me, it's a vulnerable act. So I never did it. I didn't feel comfortable doing it. Mm-hmm. But I could see it crescendoing, like I could see it building throughout the service, to the end where it was very emotional, with tears and everything else. And
we'll get to that.
Let's talk
a little bit more about the service first,
okay.
And then we'll talk about the end.
Okay.
So they have this. So there's no Bibles and hymnals in the pews, or their chairs actually, but. Everything's on the screen. The screen is amazing. Must have cost a lot of money because it's a huge screen, and we have a clip of it, so you'll see it in our video.
Yes.
We did, raise our phones a couple times because we just wanted to be able to share it with you. We do struggle with this. We would love to film a lot more inside church, but we don't want to be disrespectful to other people.
Right.
So we're trying to just take clips here and there. but I thought it was important to take a couple today.
Yeah, I took a few.
So I was careful. Anyways, the sermon was about to the ends of the earth, the book of Acts, and he talked a lot about the Holy Spirit, about driving out demons, speaking in tongues, the gifts of the Spirit. It was a good. Well, how did you feel about the sermon?
What does speaking in tongue mean? Because you've said that a few times.
Oh, I should research this a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to say the right thing. It's the Holy Spirit speaking through you. So you speak in a tongue that isn't like, it sounds like.
Okay, because I noticed
it sounds
a few
like mumbo
people were doing
jumbo
that.
in a sense. The woman who prayed for me at the end was speaking in tongues,
Yeah.
and then she switched to English. But so it's not an actual language, but it's like the Spirit speaking through the person.
Well, it's the first time I've been in a service where he said, speak in whatever tongue you want, and I noticed the people who were singing on the stage would switch and all of a sudden not be singing in English and speaking to themselves, and you could hear them once in a while. I thought, what is going on? So it was a little sci-fi for me.
My brother's very comfortable with this. My brother Bob is a pastor, so I might ask him to, send me a little clip of him explaining that. And
Okay.
then that'll be good for us and good for our
Yeah, because
viewers
we'll
too.
learn. Yes.
Right? So maybe we'll pop that into the next video, just
Okay.
for interest's
I like
sake.
it. Yes.
So what I liked was that the pastor was very humble. He's not like, I'm up here and you guys are down there. He talked about everyone has the same Spirit and they have the same authority. So I can pray for people, but you can pray for people too.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the Spirit in you, you can pray for people. And I
Resonated
caught on
with you?
into, yeah, that one was good. So yeah. And he talked a lot about being a witness, being not afraid to tell other people about good things that happen to you.
Yeah.
So, because like we said in our movie review, which is on our other channel, Coffee Counter Talk,
A little plug in there.
we reviewed the movie Miracles from Heaven, and we talked about a lot of little things being miracles. A miracle doesn't have to be an amazing big miracle. It can be small things like a person that you've met or situation that's happened.
An everyday occurrence.
Right.
Yeah.
And what he talked about was being a witness, like telling others about those positive things that happen in your life. And I like that. That resonated
Which is what
with me
we're
too.
trying to do.
Right.
Yes.
So that resonated with me too. I thought that was quite good. So today's service really touched me a lot. So we'll talk about the end now, the emotional part. And if my eyes are a little red or my makeup blurred, it's because I cried a lot. I have a lot of health problems. I had breast cancer last year, and there's some lingering issues that I've got to deal with. I've got pretty bad arthritis in both of my knees and my hip, and I limp quite a bit. I need a knee replacement, which is going to be happening in September, and I'll probably need a hip replacement a year after that. We'll see how much the knee improves my gait. But anyways, I've been dealing with depression this winter because of a lot of stuff, but having to change my job because of my health problems, and there's a lot of different things, and so there's a lot going on. So when they said that we were welcome to come to the front for prayer, I was the first one up there because I need prayer. So, and I'm going to start crying now. grab me a napkin. So I went up front. I'm not sure what did you think when I left?
I was not surprised. And I think you started something because a lot of people went to the front. There was an awful lot of people, all different ages, as was the congregation. It wasn't just one age. It was
quite mixed.
It was a real mix of congregation, which we like with ages and
because it makes it more dynamic for sure.
Yeah.
I just as soon as he said, if you've got anything you need healing for, and I need healing for a lot of stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I'm right up there. So I was the first one up there, and a lovely lady prayed for me, and she prayed in tongues, and then she prayed in English, and she asked me what I was up there for. And when I said health reasons, she said, yes, I could feel that. And then she prayed specifically to my health issues. That's when she was touching my head.
Okay.
So I felt some power in her prayer, and I thank her for that. I don't know who she was, but she was wonderful. And then another gentleman came up to me, and he seemed he was shaking, not from Parkinson's. He was shaking from the Holy Spirit. He was touching me and praying for me as well, and that felt powerful. And I was crying the whole time. And there was a box of Kleenex on the stage, but I was too far from it, and I had to wait till the right moment to like get there and get the Kleenex. But I did feel power in that prayer, and I do believe in prayer. So
Yeah,
if it
and
works,
there was
I'd
a
be thrilled.
lot of people up there, so they had different people going around praying for the people who were up there, and it like I didn't go up, but I felt the power in it. Yes, I do cry easy, but I did feel the emotion of it because his service builds everybody up to a crescendo, and then he had the prayer, and it was like, oh my goodness, like how do you come down from that? So we just left. We didn't even say any words when we were done. It was just like,
I was crying too much. It would have been really
Yeah.
difficult for us to go into the foyer and go to the welcome table and stuff because I was crying so much, and I didn't want to make a scene. I'm not that person.
yeah, it was very emotional.
So we
very.
did leave, but I would be tempted to go back there again.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's very different service.
yeah.
So
But yeah, the pastor did lead us to that. At the beginning of his sermon, he said he welcomes the Spirit and he feels like something is going to happen today.
yes, he did.
So
Yeah.
for me, it did happen, and it was quite good.
I would say there was 30 or 40 people up there. There was a lot of people up there at one time. They were all behind you and to the sides. So a lot of people felt comfortable to go up.
So let's
so it's
talk about the comparison to other churches we've been to.
Okay.
Because
All
we
right.
did chat about that
We
earlier,
did.
and I thought it was good.
Yes.
So
Well, for me, I always call it School of Rock, the Church on the Rock.
yeah,
I, hands down, have the best band I have heard at any church.
yes, the worship music was amazing. The lead singer was amazing.
Yeah.
We
Like-
really felt the Spirit in that music and praise. That praise was very good
Yes.
there.
Yeah. So I really, really love that. Where we went today, I wasn't too crazy about the band. They
was
were,
good.
They were okay. Yeah, they were good. The
But it
music
wasn't
was okay,
as
but it wasn't
powerful.
No.
Um, But I felt the pastor was more powerful at this church. So at West Highland, I also liked West Highland. So when we went to Church on the Rock, it was like one of our top ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we went to West Highland, I thought, well, maybe I like West Highland a little bit more. And I was trying to figure out why I was thinking that. And it was the combination of everything. Because you have to look at the dynamic of the congregation and whether you feel comfortable in it. The way the pastor speaks and whether you feel like it resonates to you.
Yeah.
And how the worship team operates and whether you feel the worship and praise like that it feels
Yeah.
like something for you. We want the experience. We want to feel the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And you don't feel it at every church. So some of the more traditional churches we went to, they're nice, but they don't have the Holy Spirit living there. And we could see that. So we don't want to return to those churches because there's not a draw for
Right.
us. But
Yeah.
So
So we
this-
have the three that we really like, and I think they're the more modern versions of religion for me.
Mhm.
And but the problem for me is I like a little piece of each one.
Yeah.
If we could put them all together, it'd be awesome.
So I don't know if we found the perfect for church yet, like if we found the right combination, but we're getting there. And the experiences are really good that we're having. Even the traditional churches are good experiences for
Yes,
us.
they are.
You know,
Yeah.
like experiencing the organ, like that's amazing.
Yeah.
But it's more like going to a museum. Like
Yeah.
it's not,
Going back in time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. So anyways, today's experience was very good.
It was very different.
So it's one of our, I think it's one of my top 3. We'll see.
Yeah, for me, it's in my top 3. I don't know if it's something I could go to all the time. There was a lot of energy, a lot of emotion. I don't know. I'm still kind of sitting on the Church on the Rock.
Yeah.
And we did go to the Church of Rock last night for an art lesson, and I love the women that
Yeah.
were at our table.
That was our evening in Paris ladies
Yes.
night where we painted signs.
Yeah.
And I have another video on that I posted last night. So if you want to check that out.
Yeah.
That was really nice. We met some nice ladies. We had a
Yeah.
nice experience. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, and we were talking to them about the different churches because it sounds like we're not the only ones that do this little journey. And
We're the
they-
only ones that tape it.
Yeah, but they did settle on the Church of Rock because they felt the people one there was too much going on all the time, and the other one, the Highland one,
West Highland.
was too big, and everything was already planned, and there was nothing new to start there. Whereas they like the church on the rock, or whatever it's called, because it's new. They're starting to build their church, or they've been building it for a while.
It's a matter of involvement.
Yeah.
The larger the church is, the more you can go every week and not be noticed because it's so large.
Yeah.
So I get that. I understand that. My problem is when I've chosen a church in the past and gone regularly, I get too involved and I get burnt out. So the last church I went to, I started teaching Sunday school because they needed a Sunday school teacher. And then I ended up being in charge of the Sunday school. And I missed all the services. I had to be in Sunday school all the time, and I never got to worship. And I felt like they wanted from me all the time. They wanted me for this, they wanted me for that. And I got burnt out to the point where I got to stop because I'm exhausted.
Yep. And you hear that a lot.
I don't want to do that again, so I want to be very careful about if I choose to go to a church regularly again, about when to say yes and when to say no. I have to learn when to say no.
Well, I do like going to the church, and I do like going every once in a while to a ladies' night. I seem to really enjoy any ladies' nights. I've done a few.
We both like meeting people. And,
and so I like socializing. And last night we sat with two women who were from Italy, and one is going back to Italy. And the other one I sat with, her husband doesn't want to travel, so she needs someone to travel with. So I don't know. I've
heard little bits of that conversation.
So I really, really enjoyed who we chatted with last night. I could have just had the chat because it wasn't church-based. It wasn't heavy into religion. And then the speaker they had was phenomenal for wellness. And I think we all need to take care of ourselves and enjoy a little bit of wellness, for each other. So
yeah.
It's been a good experience so far,
Yes.
and we'll see where we go. I'll be away for a few weeks, but once I come back, we will continue our journey
and
possibly
while Deb is away, I'll revisit some of the churches that are high on my list. I won't go to any new ones until she's back.
Yeah.
So if you have any suggestions, please feel free to comment under our video. We'd love that, and like and subscribe, and ask your friends to subscribe, because that's very good for our channel, and I really appreciate it so much. Love you guys.
And enjoy the day and have a coffee.
Have a good week.
Cheers.
Bye.